I'm Ross Peterson. I'm director of the upper school. The intensives are a 3-week opportunity for our students to go deep in a specific area without the obstacles of trying to manage many courses at once. So it equals a semester's credit in a course. And what basically happens in the intensive is students are in that course all day. They can do many different things within the same day. In a science course, for instance, in AP Biology, which I visited recently, everything happened from direct teaching to a lab to a demonstration to kids working in groups to debrief what had happened. All that happening in the course of a morning, which frankly, when you think about chopping that up into sort of traditional 45-minute segments, is something that would have taken days to pull off. But in this format, kids and teachers really had the elbow room to do it the right way, to go deep.
Hi, I'm Trent. I'm a sophomore, and I'm one of the few lucky people who've been in 2 intensives. I was in chemistry for 6 weeks this past summer, and I'm now in advanced stagecraft. Both of the intensives I really enjoyed. Chemistry, it was great for me because I get to really focus on it and be able to get a lot of work done and learn a lot really quickly, which works for my personality and my learning style. And then advanced stagecraft, which really caters to one of my main interests, which is technical theater. And so I've gotten to get really in-depth into it and do some advanced projects, which have been really cool, and some advanced building techniques and scenery design and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like them.
I'm Dan Moulthrop. I work for an organization called the Civic Commons, and I used to work for the local public radio station. I was a host of a program there called The Sound of Ideas. And I have training both in teaching and in journalism. Scott Looney invited me to think about a course that I might teach. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to teach a journalism class in long-form narrative writing? I've been teaching it with my friend Charles Michener, who used to be the arts editor, the arts and culture editor at New Yorker, and before that at Newsweek. He's an amazing editor, and so we have spent the last 3 weeks teaching Hawken juniors and seniors how to be magazine writers, essentially, how to find a story, how to be curious about the world around them, how to knock on the doors of strangers, essentially, and say, could you tell me about what you do? Because I think it's really interesting and I want to tell more people about it. We've been meeting every day at the Grief Center, which to have a place to be right in University Circle has provided us with just immeasurable opportunities, because the way we designed the course was to focus on the University Circle community, on stories that can be reported in and around University Circle within walking distance. This really does prepare students not only for the kind of work they get to in college, where it's much more it's much more of a deep dive, but it also prepares them for the kind of work that they will do when they enter the real world, which is, I am an expert in this area and this is what I do. And that's what this is really about.
It was better than I expected. I thought that the kids would get bored working just in steel, so I introduced this copper project that really they didn't need, because they had been busy cutting the steel, measuring, welding. They've taken turns on the welder. You know, I set up a program and didn't need to go, and they've just like owned it. They don't even leave for breaks. I have to ask them to leave so I can use the restroom and get lunch. So it's been fabulous.
Body language, eye contact, all those things that are not music are part of the music. They need to happen.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We basically just played music all the time, which was cool.
Listened to music, master classes, rehearsals.
And it really sort of fit really well into the whole schedule. We could just focus on practicing and just getting this music down, which is cool.
Yeah, and it's what we all love to do the most.
I think it gave us a real taste of what it would be like to study music, because it was sort of a college setting. We came in and we played together. It was a lot of discussion based.
I'm Julie Agar, and
and we are the Humanities 10 team. Amanda Mann, Steve Weiskopf, Katie Scott, and I. And for our intensive this year, we focused on studying our study of imperialism.
I think the intensive presented us with an opportunity to work collaboratively. The four of us had a group of 31 students. Another real highlight was our capacity for taking kids out into the community, and we did. Exactly. We took them on a number of field trips.
And that, to me, that experiential piece, I think their learning will be more a part of who they are because they've gone out in the world and experienced it in some way, what they've learned. It's been applicable. And I think that's really powerful in their understanding of the world, which is our humanities modern world approach.
And similarly, because we had them all day, there was always time for reflection.
So the processing, again, I think is enormously important.
And our ability to be responsive to the students and the learning that was going on in the moment.
I think the intensives have been remarkably rich in what's happened for everyone here. And we've had unbelievable successes, and we've had some challenges along the way about how we use that time, how do we benefit from it, how do we think about content, how do we think about workload. All those are questions that are still open books for us as we move forward.